The friendship of Little Bear and the Squirrel. One day, Little Bear met a squirrel in the forest. The squirrel was crying, and Little Bear asked him what was wrong. The squirrel said, "My collected pine nuts are gone. I can't find them." Little Bear felt sorry for the squirrel. He wanted to help the squirrel find the pine nuts, but he was timid. He was afraid of getting lost in the forest, and also afraid of encountering danger. Little Bear thought for a moment and decided to ask the owl in the forest for help. The owl was the smartest animal in the forest, and it would surely be able to help the squirrel find the pine nuts. Little Bear found the owl and explained the situation to it. The owl agreed to help. The owl took Little Bear and the squirrel to look for the pine nuts together. They searched the forest for a day, but unfortunately, they didn't find them. The owl then flew into the sky to survey the scenery of the forest to see if there was anywhere else they hadn't looked. Finally, the owl suggested that they go to the small cabin in the mountains to look. Little Bear and the squirrel were very scared when they heard this, because there were still humans living there. They had never had direct contact with humans before, and Little Bear was very afraid of strangers when he was in the zoo. The owl said, "The people who live there love our forest, and they will surely be able to help." So Little Bear and the squirrel plucked up their courage and found the small cabin. Little Bear knocked on the door, and a human opened it. Little Bear asked the human if he had seen the squirrel's pine nuts. The human replied, "The weather is about to get cold, so I brought some wood home to burn for firewood." As a result, there are a lot of pine nuts in the wood pile, which should be left by the squirrel. The human was very friendly and took out all the pine nuts in his hand. He also took some gifts for Little Bear, the squirrel, and the owl. They finally found the pine nuts. The squirrel was very happy to see the pine nuts found. It thanked Little Bear and the owl for their help, and also thanked the humans in the cabin for being so friendly. Little Bear and the squirrel also realized that although they had never had direct contact with humans before, they always had to pluck up the courage to take the first step. Little Bear was very happy. He knew that even though he was timid, he could overcome his fear and do something meaningful with the help of his friends. Little Bear's journey was still ongoing, and he would face more challenges to find his own courage. Little Bear's adventure continues. He will meet more different animals, and he will experience more challenges. Will he learn how to face difficulties bravely and how to help others? Sleep tight, little one. May your dreams be filled with pandas. In your dream, you will see a world of wonder and beauty. Good night.